Hello, I'm Dr. Francis Savariran, veteran commanding officer in the U.S. Air Force, a research scientist, a freelance reporter for 15 years, and 13 years owner of the national online news service, US News, www.usnews.us.com. I'm also a Federal Election Commission registered presidential candidate and now a write-in presidential candidate since I was prevented from taking part in the presidential debates. Neither my news organization nor I was supported by any special interest or cash-heavy lobby groups who, through their surrogates in the White House, the Congress, and the courts, have swindled this country for the last 10 years by shackling the U.S. Constitution, the supreme law of the U.S., under which this country was founded, which neither the Congress nor the court could change except as specified in Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution. This change could only occur by people through a lengthy process which takes anywhere from 7 to 10 years. This may seem odd and at odds with what is happening in the US today. A rule by fiat or decree by the White House or the Congress or the courts in violation of several mandates and guarantee noted Constitution. If you have trouble believing this, as I had before I started investigating this, listen to what Miss Andrea Mitchell, the senior investigative reporter from NBC News, has to say in our next clip.
Andrea Mitchell has covered a lot of politics in Washington over the years. She's standing by in our D.C. newsroom tonight. Andrea, you've seen him come and seen him go. This has hardly been a profile in courage. Have you ever seen anything like this? And let's take a further step back now and look at how all of this looks.
Crises. We've had in our lifetime 9/11, Katrina, other national emergencies, tragedies. And in one case or another, in all of those cases, one branch of government at least, if one failed, the other would step in. In this case, all branches of government, our entire government seems to be dysfunctional. And it's even questioning in people's minds the checks and balances that was the genius of the framers, because now it's stalemate, it's gridlock. And I've never seen anything where there has been so little leadership and where people are angry, disgusted, and I think really rebellious out there. People are wanting change and they don't know how to get it.
And
The most dangerous special interest group that is wrecking our country is not the Wall Street, but the multimedia news with its mind-controlling aspect. This was first recognized by President Dwight Eisenhower, who has warned against this threat in several of his speeches. President Kennedy has very nicely summed it up in the following words, paraphrased of course. In the era of TV multimedia we live in today, truth no longer matters, but what matters is the perception of the truth. Using this power, the multimedia news tries to brainwash the people by the following false assertions, such practices are prohibited by the Federal Election Commission regulations. Number 1. Only natural-born Americans are eligible to serve as the president of this country. The father of this country, George Washington, was the first foreign-born U.S. president, having been born in the colony of West Virginia under the British rule. With your help, if I became the 45th president, I'd only be the 10th foreign-born U.S. president. I was disappointed to note the Republican candidate, Mitt Romney, did not mention the two great achievements of his foreign-born father, the late Governor George Romney. Number 1. Governor George Romney worked shoulder to shoulder with the civil rights leaders of his time. His second great achievement was a successful campaign as a GOP presidential candidate against a shrewd California lawyer named Richard Nixon. If there was any question about the legitimacy of foreign-born Governor Romney's bid for the presidency, Mr. Richard Nixon, the lawyer, so to speak, would have torn him apart. Only the voluntary withdrawal of Governor George Romney, due to his knowledge based on his own research, which revealed the Vietnam War to be an unjust war waged against innocent people to shore up a military dictator, did Mr. Nixon win the GOP nomination and proceeded to win the White House. The second lie by the multimedia news is that judges are appointed to the court for their lifetime. False. Article 3, U.S. Constitution, which deals with the qualifications of a judge in any court of the United States, states a judge shall serve as long as he is in good behavior. The judges and the justices who presided over Mrs. Ledbetter's case, the Walmart female employees class action case of gender discrimination in pay, the U.S. Air Force veterans case, all acted badly in preventing their cases with overwhelming evidence of wrongdoings by the defendants going before a jury as guaranteed in the 7th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The 7th Amendment guarantees to every litigant in the United States courts, if the damages claimed are over $20 in value, the trial by jury is guaranteed. This cannot be changed or altered by the Supreme Court or any other branch of the government except by another amendment as specified in Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution by the people, which is a lengthy process and takes about 7 to 10 years. These are the actions that made Ms. Andrea Mitchell of NBC News, a senior investigative reporter, to comment that the U.S. courts are dysfunctional. Please refer to the previous clip. Based on international standards of justice, since the USA is also a member of the International Court of Justice, such judicial actions will be considered as a criminal violation, and as such, there is no statutes of limitation on the claims of the above three litigants. The only limitation is the will of the people to send a people's president as a write-in candidate to the White House to set things right. The results will be felt immediately. You will get no phony explanation of steering a large cruise ship or statements that things will get worse before getting better from me. If you plug the leaks that are sinking a ship, the ship will immediately stop sinking. 4 months ago, I read a very disturbing report published by the Obama administration's Federal Reserve, a survey that documented that there was a 40% drop in the net worth of middle class Americans over the last 3 years. This is real money and it affects every American. This was also the report noted in Yahoo Finance and in the NBC Evening News broadcast of June 12th of this year. This is not the deficit spending clock that shows over $150.9 trillion in deficit spending. It's being passed on to future generations and will only affect them. This 40% dip is real money and it affects you. This includes all your cash, real estate, pension plans, household goods, even the available credit on your credit card. As an example, if you had $1,000 available credit on your card 3 years ago, it would have been reduced to only $600 today. To give you a proper perception, the next two clips show an ice cube melting. Please click on the stop button to stop the video, play button to advance the video. Study the second clip closely. You don't have much time left. The next two clips show a sample ballot and where to write in your presidential choice. Two clips show a sample ballot. Be sure to completely darken the oval to the left of the name completely. The black ballpoint. Do not use pencil. Please spell the name exactly as it appears. The second clip shows how to verify that the ballot given to you is the official ballot. Remember, the Federal Election Commission is still controlled by the junta in Washington. Make sure that volunteers are in every voting precinct to look over the shoulders when the write-in ballots are counted, else every write-in vote may be recorded as being cast for Pluto or Mickey Mouse. Remember, it is the recorded vote that counts. The last clip shows my name printed in large print. Please print this or write this on a piece of paper and stick it to your fridge, television, or bathroom mirror and take it with you when you go to the watch the spelling on Tuesday, November the 6th or earlier. Please watch the spelling and write the name as it appears exactly the way as it is shown above. Also, please remember to completely blacken the oval to the left of the name with a black ballpoint pen. Do not use pencil. Do not hand the completed ballot to anyone, but push it into the printing machine yourself. If you are an elderly person, have a friend accompany you